Let me guess, you did perfect split, you've been going to the gym so many times, lifting kind of heavy, and still didn't really get any progress. You think you need to do 3 hours arm workout in order to grow big arms? But what if I tell you that this smarter approach to our training and doing more can actually kill your gains? So let me tell you actually a story of John. So John, for example, he really wanted to put some muscle and he was training hard in the gym. He was trying to eat right calories, right food, but he was scared to do some changes. And in this video, I want to really show you the mistakes you probably doing when it comes to building muscle, how we can overcome them and really finally make this year nice for you and make sure you're gonna build some muscle mass. So if you wanna get so much muscle to the point that people will call you that you are cheating and you adding TRT to your routine or whatever, these are points which they are the most important points when it comes to actually building muscle. Some mistakes are inside of those points which I made, so you don't have to make them in your life. First point is training hard. The point is this: so many people are thinking that they're training hard, and maybe you're training hard, but there is a study where every person needed to bench press 10 times a certain weight, and the 10th rep should be all the way to failure. And you can imagine that so many people actually did this wrong, and they did like 16, 20, 22 reps, meaning they don't actually know what it is to train hard. What I want you to understand is this: if in the beginning of your, let's say you're doing bench press, okay, and you need to do 8 reps, rear 1, for example, meaning 1 rep left in reserve, you're gonna leave 1 rep in a tank, okay? You're doing the first 3 reps, and the last 6, 7, 8 reps are very difficult, and the 8th one is very, very slow. Not to the point that you're gonna failure, but it's very, very slow, meaning you slower the reps by, not by your own like action, but just naturally you're slowing the reps. You're doing very weird face expression, and you just feel that the weight you have is really challenging for you. This is the first point, very, very important. What I'm doing, but you don't have to really do that, is for the first, let's say I have 3 sets, yeah? So first and second set is basically I leave 1 to 2 reps in reserve, meaning I'm not going all the way to failure. The last one, which is third set, I'm doing basically all I can till I just physically cannot do, I cannot perform another rep. On the machines, this is very easy to do actually, will not give you that much fatigue. But on the exercises like bench press, squat, especially Romanian deadlift, these compound movements are very difficult, very challenging. So you don't need to really go all the way to failure. You can always, even in the third set, leave just 1 rep in a tank and it's gonna be fine. Because yes, by going more towards failure, you're gonna build more muscle tissue. But the point is this: you will get so much fatigue to the point that you will not be able to train the same muscles for the next 4 days. This could be a thing, okay? In the beginning, you don't want to go crazy, okay? You don't want to, especially in the beginning, if this is your first days in the gym, you don't want to go crazy because whatever you're gonna do, you're gonna feel that next day. After a while, you're gonna get better and better when it comes to recovery, and it's gonna be fine. Number 2, protein. 1 centimeter of protein, protein, 1 centimeter of your body means that you should consume 1 gram of protein, meaning I am 173 centimeters, I'm eating 170 grams of protein, 175, 80, something like this. This is very important because protein builds new muscle tissue, and that's what you should do basically. One point I want to make is how much protein should be in a meal. So there is also another study, meaning what's gonna happen if you're gonna consume over 40 grams of protein per meal? Is it going to waste or not? So when it comes to actually wasting protein, I don't believe in that, and it was this the study said that you will not waste the protein. However, there's this MPS thing, meaning after a certain point, which is like 40 grams of protein, if you're gonna consume more than this, you are not getting more spikes of MPS. Okay, so it makes sense more for you to actually not consume more than 40 grams of protein per meal. However, I still suggest, because you really have to kind of have time and have the structure in order to achieve that. Because for example, if you the more protein you need to consume, the more meals basically you need to consume if you want to have only 40 grams and no more. I would say this: it's better for you to make it half-half. So for example, if you have a meal which have 80 grams of protein, I prefer split that into 40 grams and 40 grams. However, Maybe you don't have time for that. Maybe you have a job which takes so much time from your life, and it's okay. So just try to do it as splitful as possible. I don't know if this is not probably the word, but my point is to have this in mind, okay? You don't have to go crazy with that. However, as a whole, this might be better for you, okay? For everyone. However, you don't need to be crazy in that. So do what you want, really. I'm not really that into that idea. I'm always trying to consume 30, 40, 50 grams of protein per meal. Sometimes I'm just gonna do it in a nice way. Sometimes not. That's life. However, you still, if you're training hard and you still consume protein, this is the most important basically in your life to do, okay? Intensity and consuming protein. Stick with the plan. So many people are changing compound movements. I don't know why. So if you're bench pressing today and next 2 weeks you're gonna bench press, but not the bench and not the bar, but the dumbbells, don't do it. I suggest you to simply, I mean, if you don't have time and the bench press where the bar is available is busy and you are quick, you have to make sure you're gonna quick make the session happen, then fine. But as a whole, what I want you to do is have the same kind of movements for 4-6 weeks and then change it to kind of have something different in your routine. Example, you bench pressing, okay, with a bar incline, then the next 6 weeks change it to dumbbells, okay? After a while, changing again to the barbell. The same can go with squat. So for example, you can squat normally, then you can change that to leg press, then you can change that to a Smith machine squat. My point is this, that you don't want to change so much all the time every week, but as a whole, after a while, it's nice to change some things. And after like 2 months, I would say that most of you're gonna feel this stagnation of doing all the time the same things. So it's nice to actually change from time to time from a different exercise, to just have some new things in order to keep the thing engaging and not be bored with the gym. Number 4 is no split. Do not choose bro split. Do not choose a split where you're splitting the muscles. Even if that's the split where you're doing chest, bicep, triceps, back, something like this. This is still, in my opinion, not good approach. In the beginning, whatever you're gonna do, it will work. However, as a whole, the better approach is to do upper lower, or push pull legs, or full body workouts. Maybe you can go with push pull legs, full body workout 4 times per week. Why? Very simple. If you're gonna train, like during the session, there's certain things you can do in order to give the stimuli, and after a while, after doing this work, it will not work anymore. So for example, most of you, by doing 6 sets, you are getting the most amount of possibility when it comes to stimuli to your muscles. And doing 7th, 8th set, you will still get slightly some progress, but the more you're gonna do, the price of new muscle is decreasing. I mean, in the beginning, less is more. Later down the line, you want to slightly do more. However, my point is this: after doing 6 sets, it's better for you to just recover and do another 6 sets later on, and not perform more than 6 sets per muscle. Maybe 7, something like this. Depends, of course, on your level of experience. Doing more than 6 sets is probably not beneficial for you, and you have to keep that in mind, because it's much better for you. What bro split is doing is you train once per week the muscle, and if you want to do 10 sets for chest, it's better for you to split it 5 chest sets today, and after 3 days, for example, 5 sets chest for another day. This is much more beneficial because you spike MPS, which is muscle protein synthesis, the next day again. So we train twice per week. Number 5 is track. So this is very important. If you're gonna track how many kilograms then you will know what to actually put on the bar next day you're gonna come. If you don't know how much, you will guess, and it will actually take you longer when it comes to training. When you can actually you don't have to have any app, which you're gonna pay for or whatever. Just go to your notes on your iPhone or phone and type it, or take the notebook with you, something like this. Because once you're gonna perform squat, you will know that, okay, yesterday, 1 week ago, I did, let's say, 100 kilograms for squat, and I was able to perform 10 reps, meaning I can actually try and add 2 kilograms, 5 kilograms to the bar and see how I'm gonna behave. Another point is to understand that if you don't have this written down, you will guess, and maybe you will put 90 kilograms and you will have to make like 16 reps, and you're adding so much fatigue to your routine, which you don't need to do it. You just need like hard 10, 12 reps or even 8 reps in the squat in order to grow some muscle, and you will not need to do more reps, which will fatigue you in the process. I hope this makes sense. Sleep, also very important, 7-8 hours. You're basically losing fat, building muscle during the sleep. This is the time when your body recover and adding new muscle tissue. So try to really have 7-8 hours of sleep per day, every day. Number 7, this is very important, is to actually add some calories to your routine, more than you think you need. I mean, I did a video on how to calculate calories. The point is very simple. I was scared to add calories because I thought I'm gonna gain fat. And the point is this: in order for you to gain fat, you have to eat 7,700 calories more than you need. This is very difficult to do in 1 week, in 2 weeks. In 1 month it's possible, of course, but the point is don't be scared to add calories, because once I added calories, I realized my strength going up, I built more muscle, and I didn't get any fat. I mean, I got slightly fat, but not as much as I thought. And now when I'm gonna cut this fat, I know how much to eat less. And if I would not be able to know this, I would go for less calories. I would be dissatisfied with my diet, and I would probably not be able to cut this fat away, because I would not know how much calories I should consume in order to lose fat. I would go too low and my motivation would go down and everything would be finished. That's 7 point. I hope you understand. That's it. Thank you so much for watching.